Hello everybody and welcome back. I got a special video for this week. It's kind of a time sensitive video because we are coming up next week on the PvP Whitestrakes event. And so the big PvP event of the year. And so I wanted to give forth my 4 best PvP tunes that I have. Not to say that my Nightblade or my Necromancer or my Dadplar could not have, some really good applications and stuff within PvP. But as of now, for me, my 4 strongest, Frostagon, the Frost Warden Fierygon, the Fiery Dragon Knight Shakagon, the Sork, and the Arcanist, my Arcanist, are all set up with some wonderful PvP setups that are very strong and do very well during this event. So I thought I'd do all 4 of those in the one video. Oh my gosh, so we've got to move. All right, let's get in here. All right, the great thing about, starting off with Frostagon here, is that even though I've kind of, I've gone the whole Frost Warden setup with, with the PvE side, I've actually brought back the bear for, we get old Barry. Barry is back here for our wonderful PvP setup, and it's just fantastic. So without any further ado, let's go over here to the armory and let's put this on. So we've got our PvP Frosty setup. Let's equip the build. Boom. All right, we've got it. All right, so what are we doing here? Okay, so gear-wise, we're going with non-attack. See, we still got some good frost. Non-attack, helm and shoulders, medium. We've got our ice furnace, and we've got, let's see, we've got a little training to round it out with our oaken soul. With our frostbite in precise. So if you don't know about Nunatak, basically Nunatak is a wonderful set that immobilizes enemies, and that gives a little bit of major brittle in there. So a lot of fun set to just see everybody kind of slow down or freeze in there. Ice Furnace, when you deal frost damage, you deal flame damage as well to all enemies in that area, and it's a heavy set. So 2 of the main things that you want to go with when you're making any kind of PvP set is to try to get yourself a heavy set, make yourself a little bit tankier, all right, and then put in, instead of having divines on everything, if you look, I've got things that have like impenetrable, all right, impenetrable. I have a chest with reinforced. The rest of it, I think, are impenetrable. Yep, with that, they give you that extra resistance in PvP. Instead of bloodthirsty, I'm going with infused, so I get more recovery and more, my chance to do more, adding to my spell damage. And even my Oaken Soul ring, I've went with the recovery stuff in infused for it, because what you want to have is that you want to be a little bit tankier. You want to have some good recovery on it, because we all kind of freak out if you're not a pro-er. Pro PvPer, and freak out. We go through our resources quick, and we wear usually too light of armor, and so we can get ganked. We can get hit, die a lot in there. I mean, first things first, you're gonna die a lot in PvP. It's just gonna happen. But if you get yourself some heavy armor, if you get yourself some of these traits in here like reinforce and impenetrable, you're gonna be able to survive that initial hit. You're gonna be able to not just get one-shotted over and over and over again. So that's kind of my philosophy for all of these builds. So that's the gear setup for him. We are looking at for what I'm doing for food. I do switch to the Jewels of Misrule. Why? Because it gives me increased stamina and magic recovery. Yeah, my number, it actually gives me some nice max health too. So our health is going to still be up there, but instead of getting the bigger stats to magicka or for stamina, well, again, we're going for resource regeneration. We want that recovery. All right, that's everything that we want for this. We're still going with the crown pots in there, and yeah. All right, let's go to Boom, boom, boom. Everything's going to be in Magicka. Look at that. We got our Magicka recovery, health recovery, nice high stats going on in there. All our good stuff from Oakensoul. And I'm going to be using the Boon of the Atronach instead of the Thief. All right, instead of the Thief, because it increases what? My recovery, my resource recovery for Magicka. All right, we have to kind of think different when we're doing a lot of this stuff. And here, we then go up to our, what am I doing for that? We do have a little bit of change in the green category, in the green corner. We're going to go with Gifted Rider. It gives our mouse speed, some more speed while we're running around in Cyrodiil to keep up with everybody. You might be wondering, you've got all of your regular stuff, and you're like, how come everyone's so much faster than me? Because they put stuff in the Gifted Rider. Master Gatherer is just there. And then I also have it in the Steed's Blessing. All right, increases your out of combat movement speed. So you're moving around faster. That's what we want. All right. For our blue tree in here, we're now going with Wrathful Strikes, Focus Mending, so our healing, all right, again, healing, damage mitigation, recovery, you kind of see where I'm going with all this, all right, it means much more than you trying to do damage, because what you do is that everybody tries to go in there with a glass cannon, and they all die really quick, and then they get upset. So what you got to do is make sure that you think more defensively. Let me get a little bit of survival. Make sure you're with a group of people. It's really tricky there. Unless you're someone who's a very seasoned pro at doing PvP, this is what we've got to do to just survive. Weapons Expert is in here, and Exploiter is in here. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Go over here. We have got, this is new, Survival Instincts. All right, your core combat skills cost 5% less per stage, so we got a 25% cost reduction. Again, so we got more resources, can cast more things. Boom. Sustained by Suffering, increases your health, magicka, and stamina recovery. Boom, we've talked about this. Give us more recovery. We need it. All right, Pain's Refuge reduces your damage taken. Again, damage taken. It's got all this reduction, 20%. And then Celerity, movement speed. Let's get around. Get me out of trouble. Get me in and out of things as quickly as possible. All right. Boom. Okay, so let me think. Oh, skills, of course. And so our skills, I'm going with, boom, Deceptive Predator. I want to get myself out of trouble here. All right, basically, we're going to gain immunity to snares and immobilizations for 4 seconds, and while slotted with, you get minor evasion. Reducing damage from area attackers by 10%. You know that whole time when you're going through like a doorway and there's a whole bunch of AoEs? I just throw this on there and I'm booking through to make it through and not die. All right, there you go. We're thinking, let's see, next we got Screaming Cliff Racer. Yeah, we've got new scribe skills. We could have other stuff in here. Thing I like about this that's really great for a Warden is that I do damage with this. It's going to set off my off balance against enemies, and it's going to give me a little bit more damage. And because it's part of the Animal Companions thing, where's my thing? Combat generate no. Greases match go. Where's my one that like when it dies, just skills and heal? Yeah. Anytime one of your Animal Companion skills ends, you're healed. So this is going to be a heal for us. So we have an escape, a heal, and then we're doing Leeching Vines, another heal. When they hit you, when somebody hits you, you are going to get some minor life steal. So you're going to get healing back. Fantastic. Again, our Arctic Blast. Boom, it's going to give us a heal. It's going to give us a stun. It's going to give us some dot damage in here. Absolutely wonderful. And then our Blinding Flare, which you guys know very well because we use just the regular non-morphed one as we're doing our PvE in here. And we've got that 10% major protection. Reduces my damage taken. Love it. And then, of course, he's back. And we're going to go with the Internal Guardian, basically so we don't have to keep on summoning him. All right? The whole thing of like, all these stats and everything, you can read it over and everything. It's great. All that stuff. But the Grizzly respawns when killed. So you don't have to worry about it. You just put the bear out there. Boom. We got Barry back in action. And he's going to be fantastic. I love it. Love it. Good to see you, Barry. He's got the glowing eyes. That's how you know that's this one in there. Yeah. All right. Did I forget anything? I think I'm good. We did that. Khajiit if you want to. Khajiit if you want to. But you could use anything in there. I love the Khajiit in that. Yeah. You should be all good to go. All right. Let's get to the next one. All right, so Frostagon, all set to go. You're going to do fantastic. Let's go with Fierygon. Oh my gosh, I love the fashion on this guy. All right, Fierygon is going to be a little bit different too, because I usually try to play Fierygon as much range as I can. And when you're doing PvP, sometimes you get up close and personal with a lot of things. And so we've got to have something where we can do a lot of battling up close and personal, still do a lot of healing, still have a lot of mitigation through our gear and stuff. That's the way I'm going to be going with here. So let's go into here, into my armor thing. Let's go, boom, the PvP 1 bar. Let's equip this build. Boom. All right, let's see what we got. Gear. What are we looking at? Gear-wise, we're going with, oh, look at this, a good kind of themed one too. Groftar. All right? Groftar, if you don't know about it and everything, when you deal damage to an enemy within 8 meters, you have a 10% chance to create these lava pools that swirl around you, dealing flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters. So if you're in the middle of all that stuff and everything, this is going to be just shoot off damage. You don't even have to worry about it. It's going to happen automatic. If you notice, I'm in impenetrable. All right, my chest piece is going to be reinforced. This is going to be Curus of Fire. All right, there's my heavy set. You see how it's now, that's my heavy? All right, let's see, the other two were in medium. This is my heavy, because we want to have a heavy set. Reinforce. When you deal damage with a weapon, you deal additional flame damage. Look at this, flame. Goes with our theme. This effect can also occur every 2 seconds and scales off the higher of your weapon and spell gen. Absolutely fantastic. All right, we're going to put that everywhere where we can put that. All right, to have our full heavy set in there. Again, we're going to have our Necklace of the Trainee. We're going to have a Ring of the Trainee, again, in Infused, so we get the most out of the multi-effect enchantment. And the same thing with the Oaken Soul Ring. Oaken Soul Ring in Infused, so that we can get that recovery. It's all about the recovery. It's all about the damage mitigation and stuff here. Why do I not have a staff on here? Where'd my staff go? It should be... Oh, because I can pick any staff I want. That's kind of the cool thing about this. Was I using... Rune Carver, or was I using Furrow? Yeah, with this setup, you could actually... Oh, that's why I didn't have it. You can actually have any staff in here that you want. All right, because you're having... the set here, which is fully complete. You're having the fire that's fully complete, and then you're having the trainee and stuff that's filling in. So you can use whatever you want. All right, you can use whatever staff that you want in here. So let's throw in. I'm going to throw in the Maelstrom. Doesn't really matter. Infused is the really good enchant again on it, so that I do more weapon and spell damage with that enchant on it. So infused with that. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't go over. So there we go. Let's see. We are now going to be using our same thing for the food. Jewel of Misrule in there. Getting that recovery. We want that recovery to come back. We've got our tripods. Are going to be our pots of choice in here. Let's go to our setup in here. Exact same thing for the green tree. All right, we're going to have Gifted Rider and Steed's Blessing are going to be the two that we want. So we get faster riding speed and movement speed. All right, for our blue, we're going to have Wrathful Strikes. We're going to have Focus Mending. Again, same thing like we had before. Mana R's, increase you're done with direct damage. And Ironclad. With this one, we're going Ironclad. Reduces the damage taken from direct damage by 6%. We're going so a little bit slightly different there with that one. With our red tree, same thing. Survival Instincts. All right, 25 cost reduction. Celerity, we move around real quick. Sustained by Suffering, we're all good to go with our recovery in there. And Pain's Refuge. Again, reduces the damage for every 2 negative effects on there. So we've got all that all set up. And all the passives and anything that you've got enough to put stuff into. Let's see. And actually, let me put on... just so that if you're looking at the stats of things, boom. Always like that little animation. Here we go. So I can see what I have for my magicka, my health. We again are going down to the Atronach for our magicka recovery. We want that recovery. Like I mentioned before, that's paramount. within that. And let's go for the skills. Skills. We're going to be starting off with Eruption. We're going to be throwing that on there. That's our distance AoE out there to get that going, get some flame damage going. All right, reducing their speed so we can get to them a little bit faster. We've got the Flame Clench. All right, when you have this Flame Clench, enemies are knocked back. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun to knock off enemies, you know, off of ledges and do all kinds of stuff like that. And make sure that if you're doing that, that you're also taking the passives. Is it in the assault one? Yeah, where you actually have a little bit. Yeah, your long range abilities increases your long range abilities. Greater than 28 meters is affected. I love it. All right, so you just kind of, if you've ever been knocked off by like someone, you know, from the ground or something like that and everything, that's what's happening in there. Engulfing flames, really good. This is going to set up so that you can do some really serious damage. You're burning embers, which also is it's a single dot, which you can just place on everybody as you're going along there. And it also heals you for all of that dot damage that you're doing. So just light up people with all that. We've got one of the best heals in the game, Coagulating Blood. All right, also gives you the Major Fortitude. And then we have that, if you've ever seen that winged jumping ability, the Ferocious Leap, that's what's going on there. So we're jumping, we're stunning. When you do that, you also get a damage shield on top of yourself. So this is all, get that out there, jump into the fray, and take care of business. Yeah, running around like that. So if you've ever seen like a DK doing all that flying through the air with the greatest of ease, that's what we've got for there. Yeah. So yeah, there's so again, Khajiit, we did the food. Take all the passives that are related to it. Like trying to think if there's anything else. We did the things. I think we're good. So, all right, next one. All right, now this next one, the Shaka Gun. I did not have any kind of setup for this. All right, but I've been loving my Shaka Gun lately, and Shaka Gun, probably one of the best things, and it gets people really mad in PvP, is Streak. It's being able to streak, to stun an enemy, and to get away. Oh my gosh. That's one of the best things about going into PvP with a Sorc. And so basically what I'm doing is doing pretty much the same setup that we have for our PvE, but I'm replacing the very slow casting Shocking Explosion, and I'm going to put on the Streak. So let's go over to here. All right. To the PvP Shocker. All right. Let's equip this build. Boom. All right. So let's equip this. So let's see. So yes, we got that Streak in there. Let's look at these as far as the skills first. So you've got that Streak. Transform yourself into pure energy and flash, doing shock damage to enemies and stunning them for 3 seconds. All right. Casting again within 4 seconds costs 30% more magicka. So it does have a little bit of a, you gotta be careful not to like overuse it. But then we have our Shocking Soul that we like so much, our damage and damage over time, and give us our Major Breach. We've got our Lightning Flood, that's our little AoE that allies can use. We've got our wonderful Heal that can heal our group members as well, and it's going to debuff our enemies. We have our Blinding Flare. Again, you can see not all the way up because I don't do that much. Well, I haven't done much PvP with this guy yet in there, but gives us our major protection no matter what level of it you have. And then we're going with the Summon Charge Atronach. There's nothing more fun than just dropping this, on top of a unsuspecting PvPer and doing that. So yeah. So you've got that. So if the Streak, if you don't know what that looks like, so you just kind of hit it. Oops, hold on. And boom, go ahead. So yeah, so it's great as you're coming up to an enemy, you're about to engage in battle, you Streak, you stun them, you turn around, you hit them with your stuff, put down the stuff, debuff them, everything, boom, put down the huge Atronach, you're going to town on them. Boom. And they're just like, uh-oh, they got friends, just like turn around and just, I'm out of here. Boom. Yeah. So yeah, it's a great one, it's great, maneuverability and everything that's going on with that. All right. Just like we were talking about with the others, we got to make sure that we are we've got our gear in PvP settings. Most of the stuff of reason why people die so much, and I'm just reiterating what I said earlier, is because we don't have the gear in the right traits, to be in there. So I'm going to go with Slime Cross still, with that pairing of Oaken Soul. So it's pretty much the same kind of setup that we would have with the PvE, but instead of having having it in maximum magicka, I've got stamina. Give me a little bit more stamina, a little bit more running, a little bit moving around, a little bit more dodging, a little bit more blocking in there, and I'm putting it in reinforced to help that armor value. All right, so the two things that I'm going to be using is, let's get the light one first, which is Overwhelming Epaulets. Oh my gosh, I love this. When you deal damage with a class ability, you surround yourself with a torrent that deals damage, shock damage to enemies within 8 meters and every second for 6 seconds. 50% of the damage you deal this way is restored to you as magicka, so that's how we're getting our magicka back. This effect will happen every 7 seconds and scales off of your higher weapon or spell damage. So yeah, people are attacking you, you're dealing damage, you have this torrent of shock around you to help defend anybody that's coming in close to you. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, so overwhelming set. I've got that in for the jewelry, the ring, and again we're using the infused with both of these and having the recovery on that instead of the bloodthirsty. I was a little bit cheap, and I just left the bloodthirsty. I'm using the same ring I did for PvP. But you could add the same setup like we did before. The multi-effects with the infuse, that'd be fine if you're going to go that way. And I had the overwhelming on the lightning staff imprecise as a weapon enchantment on there. Now, again, you're going to pair this, like I said, with a heavy set in there, giving you all that stuff. So I've got my chest reinforced, and I've got the Curious of the Storm Knight. Oh, I love this one. When you take non-physical damage, so that's all the magical damage, stuff like that, you deal shock damage to all enemies within 5 meters of you every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds and scales off of your higher weapon and spell damage. So what this is doing, as you're doing damage, as you're doing everything I showed you that you're doing all your stuff and everything, putting down all your thing, your armor is doing stuff, putting torrents around you. So if anybody comes up and tries to beat on you, stuff like that, boom, you're going to take them out, and then boom, you're going to shove away, and they're going to be stunned, they're going to have all this damage and everything, and they're going to be dead, and they're going to be like, what happened? What happened? Sorcerer OP! Sorcerer OP! You're just like, yes! And that's why I'm playing one. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so that's why you have that. So you've got some things that are automatically going. You're going to be a little bit tankier. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Again, we're still doing the same thing with the food in there. Oops, I don't have my food on me, so but we're still using the same food that we were using. Where to go? There it is. We'll put a stack on here. The Jewels of Misrule. We're still going to have that on here. All right, so that's going to be, helping us out. Boom. We've got that in there so you can see all of our stats, where everything is in the magicka. Great sustain with all of our recovery. We really like that. We're going to be using the same pots for everything. Oh, and I haven't had a chance to set up my thief yet, because like I said, I just made this thing. I set up my thief. I will be changing this to the Atronach as well. All right, so we get that magicka recovery. It's all about the recovery. So yeah, so that I will be doing as well. Cool. So that's that. We did the skills. We did the stuff. Khajiit, everything. All of this stuff is going to be very similar. It should be similar. There it is, Gifted Rider. Steed's Blessing. We are doing for our blue, we're doing Wrathful Strikes, Focus Mending, Weapons Expert, and Ironclad. All right, so we've got that. For our red, again, should be very similar. Yep, Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, Survival Instincts, and Celerity to get around. Look at this. You definitely see the pattern. We're on to number 3. There's just some things that as you're doing them that you should be doing for all of your PvP. You should be focusing on sustain. You should have a heavy armor set. You should have traits to be in the PvP. So if you want that survivability, You know, if you want to have that to be able to do good damage and feel comfortable in PvP, all of these things you got to be doing. So there we go. So yeah. All right, on to number 4. Can you believe it? Am I going to do this? Oh, I got 5 minutes. I said I was going to try to make this a half an hour thing. So let's see what we got with the Arcanist. So the Arcanist, the Arcanist. All right, I have we're going back to kind of the old setup that we had for the for IA setup, but it also comes in a really nice PvP format. Again, mostly because of the gear. So we're going to have that gear. We're going to have all the same things, the traits and the stuffs and the food and everything. It should all be the same. Let's just check it. Let's just make sure that we've got what we've got in here. So let's go over here. There's the PvP build. Let's equip that. Boom. There we go. Let's see what we've got on this. Boom. All right. Let's check out the gear. The gear is going to be, okay, so I did go with a heavy slime craw, pairing that with the Oaken Soul. But you see I have my Oaken Soul in my recovery setup with the Infuse, which is what you want. All right. And then I have a medium setup of Deadly Arms, which works fantastic in PvP. But if you look, I got it in Impenetrable. I have that mixed with Soulshine. Yes, Soulshine. Oh my gosh. Look at what Soulshine gives you. Activate the ability with a caster channel time grants you more weapon and spell damage. Just really, really basic. Yeah, all right. Nothing too fancy. And I like it because it's in heavy. So a real simple setup. All right. You know, my main setup is Deadly with Pillar of Nirn. This one is Deadly with Soulshine. Absolutely incredible. Does all the stuff. So we've got, and there's our heavy set. So heavy, Soulshine, reinforced, and impenetrable. Oh, I actually went reinforced on the boots just for flavor. You can go impenetrable too. And then I have the shoulders deadly. We've got the Soulshine in purple. Gosh, I'd even get these to gold. Which actually, you know what? I got plenty of platinum now because I changed things. I'm gonna upgrade these things. So we've got our Soulshine, boom, in there, and we've got our lightning. In there. So basically, I think what I did is that I went with, you know, anything that I want to. I did a mix of heavy and medium. You could go all heavy, you could go all medium, but a little bit of a mix really helps out, you know, with this. Boom. All right, let's see what we got for... Yep, we should have our Jewels of Misrule. Very good. Let's look at our setup here. Do I have any? No, I've got the other thing on. Let me eat this so you can see some stats. Boom. We go to our stats there. Very good. All right. We've got a lot of stamina recovery. We've got a lot of magicka recovery in there. A little bit of health, but that's okay. We've got all of our setup here. And there we go. There's our Atronach back. All right. For our magicka recovery. All right. So that's doing really well. Skills. We're going with the basics. Inspired Scholarship. We're going Unstable Wall of Storms to get that off balance and concussed. We're doing the Flail to get our heal and our quick damage. All right, that's going to set us up to be able to do our Fate Carver, Pragmatic Fate Carver. And then we've got our Evolving Room Men for our heal. And then we're doing our Languid Eye. Now you could go and do a Tide Caller as well, Tide King. And do that as well if you want to, because it'll move around. It's whatever you like the best. So basically, you're prepping with this, you're setting down that, you're doing your beam. If you need a heal and stuff, you've got to heal, and boom, you just light them up. Real basic, and you've got a lightning staff to be able to do damage to that as well. And the lightning staff is going to be great because it's doing some extra direct damage too in that. All right, let's look through here. We should have all the basic setups. Gifted Rider, there we go. Steed's Blessing, Wrathful Strikes, Focus Mending, Biting Aura, and oh, I went with Biting Aura with this just because of we've got that going on with the setup. So that is a little bit of change of what we had compared to our other ones. And then over here we have our, Survival Instincts, Sustained by Suffering, Pain's Refuge, Interstellarity, so that we're able to run a round. All right. Oh my gosh, did we do it? I think we did it. Yeah, we're just about to hit the 30-minute mark. So thank you, everybody. So this was really quick. So this was my setup for these 4 wonderful classes and having a PvP setup all set to go with all of these. So enjoy, have a lot of fun. Remember, you're going to die a lot. It's okay. But by putting all these things, you're going to survive a little bit longer. And I think you're going to have a little bit more fun with it. So thank you, everybody, for checking out this PvP video. Enjoy Whitestrakes. Have a lot of fun. And maybe a few of you will also get some Emperor as well, like I did last year. So, all right, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.